Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Um, Man, it's been a long time. It's been, constant battles of trying to get back. Sometimes I start too soon, but I do feel better, getting better. So thanks for everybody who's been hitting me up and saying about me. And I know y'all have heard that a million times, but I really do feel good, and I think I'm back. Now, this topic is not a bully rant, well, sort of a rant, but it's not a bully rant. Um, it's something that a lot of y'all need to become aware of. Um, a lot of these humane societies and, different, let's just call them dog pounds as we used to, they're doing some very different type of shit lately. And one of them that I can talk about is in Tampa, Florida, the Falkenberg location. This was the most ridiculous thing I've heard of. And, I hope they get their asses sued off for it. And now the more that I'm hearing about it, the more, I've getting a chance to check these emails. It's happened now several times. But we all pay good money for our dogs, with these dogs. We don't look at them, some of us don't look at them as some kind of way to just make money or whatever, but we do like to show our dogs. We do like to compete in shows. We do like to do the things that are necessary, to have fun with these dogs in the show ring. And later on, some of us breed the dogs. Some breed way too much, but some of us just have the dogs and breed, here and there. But regardless, when you pay this type of money for your dog and you're putting your dog into these events and things, you expect a certain level of respect. As in most cities and states and everywhere else, our pets are considered property. So what's been happening with a lot of these animal places and the dog pounds and these cities that pick these dogs up is that generally they give you, if say for instance the kids let your dog out, or anything that's happened with your show dog, the dog gets out, the dog pound gets the dog, or whoever picks the dog up, you usually have, the shortest time I've heard of is like a 48-hour time to where you have to claim your dog. And in most of these cases they will you have to show that your dog is a show dog. Sometimes you have to show your dog as a source of income, that this dog, by being bred, does bring you in money for whatever your purposes is. And sometimes you don't have to state those purposes. But one of the things that shouldn't be done is if if these people get their hands on your dogs without notice, fixing your dog. This is something that should not have been done. There's plenty of court cases about these situations, and they have lost on several occasions, because once you can prove that this dog has a purpose for not being fixed, in any way, then this should be handled in a different, in a different way, especially if this is the first time. Well, in this incident, the lady lost her dog, which was a French bulldog. Now, from the story that I'm hearing, is the dog was let out as I think a maintenance man or something came to the house, and the dog got out the house. Now, this is a dog that she spent $7,500 for, and for those of you, before y'all jump to any conclusions, from my understanding, the dog is about 5 years old, has yet to be bred. It was actually bred one time, she told me, and the breeding didn't take. But her intentions was to continue to show the dog from time to time, and eventually have a litter with this dog before the dog was before the dog is too old to have dogs, and do her thing with it, or whatever the case may be. So the dog got out with the in this circumstance. And they picked up the dog, which, to my understanding and from what the paperwork that she showed me, the dog was picked up at somewhere in the vicinity of 3 o'clock. Now, this place closes, within the next couple hours of that. The truck actually, they said, got the dog back there, at pretty much closing time. So if she would have called about her dog, or if she did call about this dog, which I'm not sure of what the case was, she wouldn't have been able to get in touch with anybody. So the next morning, as as they opened up, she contacted them, and she was informed that her dog had actually been fixed. Now, they did put the dog on the website, but they didn't even wait a full, this isn't even 24 hours. This isn't even a time span which would allow anybody to call and check on their dog, or anybody to call and get the situation cleared up about the dog and take responsibility for the dog. And even if you had to take a ticket or whatever to at least, you know what I'm saying, say that this dog was bought for this purpose and this is a show dog and show her trophies or whatever and her participation. Bottom line, they didn't give her a chance at all to just, you know, and basically they just, you know, cut the dog's nuts off. Now, what I say about this is I say this, man. I understand some of these animal rights people and some of these people who want to fix every dog in the world. But at the same time, you know, us as people who show dogs responsibly, who breed dogs responsibly, who like our purebred dogs and want to partake in these sports, you know, we have every right to have our dogs too. And our dogs have this, you know, rights in the same way. You know, you have these crazy ass people, and yes, I'm gonna say crazy ass people, but because there are stories about them. Watch them. These people will go to people's houses that they know breed dogs and let their dogs out intentionally, or take their dogs, or do different things with their dogs. And in these type of cases and situations, you know, it's just any way that they're looking to not only fix your dog, but then these places, and I'm not trying to beat up on all of them, but a lot of these places, man, especially these rescues, they turn around and they take the dogs and they resell the dogs. You know, and you can look them up, but you have a lot of rescues, and this is not every rescue. Trust me, I know some nice rescues. I know some people doing good things, but there are these rescues, and what's sad is that a lot of the city dog pounds work with them, and they'll, as soon as they get a dog in that can be identified as a pure breed, they'll call these, you know, quote unquote rescues, and they'll come and take the dogs, and they resell the dogs. Now, the funniest thing about this is when this young lady called about her dog, you know what I mean, they said the dog was in there, so she immediately went down there. Now, keep in mind, she's down there. I know it was well before noon. You know, this place opens up in the morning, but it was well before noon. And I'm pretty sure it was like maybe an hour or so after they opened up. They had already, you know, said that they had sent her dog in to, you know what I'm saying, to basically have his nuts cut off. And then when she's starting to look for an explanation, this guy tells her, well, it's a 2-day thing. But his version of 2 days was the dog came in one day and they fixed it the next day. Keep in mind, they're fixing it. They literally had to put that dog on the table pretty much before they opened up, or right when they were opening up. And they got the dog after they closed. So what was the, you know, the actual time that you could give somebody to pick up their animals? Now, some of y'all are like, oh, yeah, the dog couldn't get out. He shouldn't have got out. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I know the greatest of dog owners. I know people who are super responsible with their dogs and everything else, and the dog finds a way to get out. The dog might dig up out of his cage. The dog might climb up out of his cage. The dog, you know, you have kids and you have other people. You might forget to lock, you know, that you didn't make sure the gate was all the way locked. Accidents happen. And for all of y'all who, you know, who you spend good money on these dogs, whether it's $1,500 up to, you know, some of y'all spend crazy money, $25,000, whatever. You know, you would be feeling the same way that this young lady was feeling if you had absolutely no opportunity to claim your dog, you know, explain the situation before they went and threw your dog on the table for surgery. After that, you know, what happened was even worse because the dog nearly died. The dog had serious complications from their surgery. Now, their thing was, oh, we'll pay for everything. We're going to take care of the dog because they knew they fucked up and they was wrong. But I'm going to tell y'all, we talk about BSL laws and different things like this. These people have many different ways that they're going to try to get rid of our dogs. They have many different ways. This is one of them. The quick snipping cut on your dogs any way that they can get them. You know, another thing that I left out that was very important, like I said, and I'm just jumping over the place, but when she went in that morning, the girl at the desk told her, oh, we have somebody that wants to adopt it. How in the fuck do you have somebody who wants to adopt someone else's dog when you haven't even had this dog long enough for it to be at your place during open hours? It wasn't someone who wanted to adopt a dog. They were about to ship the dog off to be resold. French bulldogs are cute. Rescues sell them. This is, you know, now I don't want a bunch of rescue people jumping on here and, oh, it's just that some rescues are good. I will repeat that. But there are a lot of rescues that are pretty much here for profit. Let's just put it that way. There are a lot of these places that are here, pretty much here for profit, and they act as if they are, you know, they trust me, every rescue is not a great rescue. Some of them are great people and need help, and they're doing great things. Other ones are no better than the damn pet stores. And I'm just being realistic with you. And the sad part is that a lot of our city dog pounds work hand in hand with these people just to ship out any dog as fast as your dog get there. It could be gone dealing with some of these people because that's the way they operate. But I wanted to, alert y'all to this and to tell you, make sure your dog has on his collars with his identification tag. Somebody that can call him. Make sure your dogs get microchipped. If they, whatever way, your dog has to be one way or another a way to identify this dog. Bigger question with this is the dog was actually microchipped and they claimed they couldn't get a read on it, so they just, Falkenberg, Tampa, Florida. That place is a piece of shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't do that to somebody's dog. You at least give them a reasonable amount of time to claim their dog, and at least let you know what the purpose of the dog is before you go cutting on somebody's dog. But y'all got to be very aware of these type of things, and also be very aware of the laws in your area and start speaking up for the laws in your area, because this, for real, it's just another form of BSL. They don't do it to every dog. Certain breeds, they're going to do it to. Certain dogs that they feel like are being overbred, they're going to do it to. And then other people, if you go in there with a Cocker Spaniel, they probably won't cut your dog. They'll give it back to you. But if it's any of these bully breeds, they are in a rush to cut the nuts off and do whatever they want with them. So, instead of just slanging puppies all the time and, doing all the other bullshit that this community does, we need to be standing up for this breed, and that goes from the top to the bottom. Until next time, y'all, much love. Peace.